What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of I forgot the name of our own channel, of the Football and Chill
Football
podcast.
and chill.
Football and Chill
Football and chill.
podcast, the show where we chill and talk about football. It's all in the name. So, today, we're going to, well, the main topic we're going to go over is who's going to win every tournament. We'll only really cover tournaments that, concern us, so we won't really be talking about, the Copa del Rey or, other domestic trophies in other competitions or anything like that. We'll just focus on our main trophies,
the English ones.
Yeah, the English ones.
The English trophies and trophies.
Yeah, and maybe the Super Cup or something along those lines. But the reason why we're going to talk about this is because of ideology that's floating around right now is that can Man City do the quadruple and win every tournament that they are currently in? So they'd have to win the Champions League, the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the League. Now, for me, realistically, 2 out of the 4 are already pretty much won. The League is pretty much done. It will take some monumental drop off. And yeah, the Carabao Cup, as much as I hate to say it, as much as I want us to win it, I can't really see us beating them. Although, the win...
I don't know, you've been playing well recently.
Yeah, we have been playing really
good recently.
Especially now Bale's firing and working well with Kane. We have been playing really well recently, and then Man City have demonstrated that they are beatable. And
yeah.
Yeah, for
those Man United.
Those of you who didn't watch the live watch along, by the way, I think this might be out before the game, but we're going to be doing a live watch along of Inter Milan versus Man United. Not your classic Champions League.
No. AC Milan, Man United.
Yeah, AC Milan, Man United. What did I say?
Inter.
Oh, yeah. But it's not your old-fashioned Champions League group game. No, it's Europa League. It's two sleeping giants.
It is like a Champions League group game matchup. It's a great game.
Honestly, there's so many Champions League caliber teams in the Europa League right now. You've got Man United, obviously. You got Arsenal to a certain degree. You got Ajax, Tottenham. There's a lot, and before that, clubs like Benfica who often qualify for the Champions League.
Even you could make a debate for Leicester. Champions League. Well, no, this.
So this is probably one of the best Europa Leagues in a while, because there's actually a lot of good teams that are in it right now. Right now, I think now we're on the topic. We might as well start with the Europa League. For me, I think one of 4 clubs will win it.
Right.
That is either United, AC Milan, Tottenham. Actually, no, those 3. I think out of those 3, those that are most likely to win. Now, what's interesting about that is that 2 of those are actually playing one game, so that immediately knocks out the other one. Now, for me, I think that Mourinho is fully focused on the Europa League right now, even though we have been playing pretty strong teams in the league pretty consistently. I think that is the main thing we're going to go for. I mean, like I said, the Carabao Cup I'd love to win, but realistically, it's going to take some... It's going to be... If we were to win it, it'd be a bit fluky. I can't really see us going into that game and just dominating them.
Yeah, well, that game's still a month away.
Yeah, I know.
It's still over a month.
So, but who knows? By that time, we could have gone on some 10-win streak or something, and they could have collapsed like Liverpool. But you never know these sort of things.
Or it could be the other way around.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Europa League for a second. You said the 3 teams of obviously United, Milan, Tottenham. I think Rangers is a massive one, a good dog.
Because they've had a massive, they've had a massive lift because of that.
Yeah, they've just won the league. They got Slavia Prague, who they can beat. All the players are going to be up for it. It's a competition where they can actually win. The morale in that dressing room is going to be very high. I don't think they're going to win it. I think we're actually going to win it. Us as in United are going to win. But I think Rangers are massive underdogs. I think Arsenal are still underdogs. I don't think they're going to win it. They'll bottle it. But they play good, and they've got very good draw. You again, that's your focus, and obviously we know Mourinho's won a trophy at every club he's played for.
Every club he's played for, and in the second season he's won a trophy.
Yeah, and this is
and he could potentially win 2.
Obviously, the Carabao Cup's a little bit different. This is you're probably more favourite for this tournament than the Carabao Cup, despite there being 15 other teams.
I think Mourinho obviously has demonstrated, like, obviously he won the Europa League with United with a. Honestly, I'd say the team you won it with is probably worse than our team right now, because you didn't really.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I know you had like Zlatan, but I think he was injured at the time you won that. I mean, you had Pogba, who was probably your best player at the time. You had Rashford, who was
It's a very average.
Yeah.
Like you look at that team now compared to the team you have today, and you're just like, yeah, none of those players would still make it in today's team.
And if you look at our team,
Like,
we've got big name players like Son, Kane, Bale. Our midfield is really good as well. Maybe our defense could let us down, but we've got Reguilon, who won the Europa League last year with Sevilla, so he's obviously very experienced in this competition. And I think another team who I think are underdogs, well, not really underdogs, but deserve a mention, is Villarreal. Is that it? Who have Unai Emery as their manager? Unai Emery.
Yeah.
I think Emery.
I just like.
I think Emery has like the best record in this competition, because I think he's won it like 5 times or something. Obviously, he bottled it with Arsenal, but when he's managed Sevilla in the past, he's won it 5, 6 times. So he definitely knows.
Knocked us out a couple of times before.
Yeah, he definitely knows this competition very well. But another thing that
that's all. Like Villarreal, they got Dynamo Kiev, who they should win. I just don't see them beating like Arsenal, Tottenham, Milan. You know, like I just don't see that.
As we saw with,
like, are you confident in Tottenham winning this? Like, who do you think is gonna win it?
What in our tie against
No, in like the whole thing.
Oh, I have faith that we can win it. If I've like, we definitely have the team and we definitely have the manager. It's just whether we realistically, I think we are, because I don't really have anything else to say rather than we are, because we have the manager, we have the squad. Maybe the only thing really stopping us is someone just like being better than us. And I look at the other teams in the tournament so far. Arsenal, not scared of them whatsoever. Man United, potentially I could be scared of, but we have a good record against you recently, and your manager hasn't really.
He doesn't want to beat us 6-1.
Yeah, it's still a good record, and then your manager isn't exactly experienced when it comes to knockout games, because you haven't even been to a. I don't. You keep losing. Although your dressing room right now is probably very high, although you just, despite like all those draws that are 0-0, you still just beat Man City, the best team in England, arguably the best team in the world. So we on our day, if we have a good game, you know, if Bale turns up, Kane turns up, we could probably get away with that game. AC Milan, they have a very good season. Obviously, Ibrahimovic is firing right now, but they are.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. I think he's injured. I'm pretty sure he's injured. I think he's missing our game, which is a massive bonus for us.
But like you, I know you said this many times before. The Serie A compared to other leagues in Europe is just so much slower. It's not as physical. It's like you don't really see Italian teams do very well in Europe. So I'd back us to beat AC Milan.
They'll get to like the quarters or the semis, and then they'll get knocked out.
Yeah.
When they get to a good enough.
To be honest, I'd probably back most English teams against a team like AC Milan. I'd probably back Leicester. Well, not Leicester at the moment, but I'd back Chelsea. Like just the intensity of their league is just not up to the scratch of the.
It's like if you put like Roma, for example, in the Premier League, they'll probably finish mid-table.
Yeah, they'd probably finish yeah. Because
they'll probably finish like
because I think we've mentioned this in our last video, which isn't actually out yet. Like there aren't many Italian players right now that are like up here. Like I can't really think of any of the top.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like you have Donnarumma, obviously a goalkeeper, it's a different story. He's still a young goalkeeper. I mean, I can't. Verratti, I guess, but he's definitely past his prime.
Oh no, like
I mean,
all of the big ones like Chiellini, Bonucci, they're all getting old. Like, there's no new youngsters from the Italian, like from Italy, or even like Bonaventura. Or
I guess I just remembered. You could say Ciro Immobile. He's a good striker.
Oh yeah, he's a great striker.
But he's obviously plays for Lazio, and they're not in the Europa League because they got knocked out of the Champions League. Well, they're still in it, but they're like 5-1 down to Bayern. 4-1 down. Yeah. So AC Milan doesn't really worry me. And in terms of other teams, I guess I used to be quite scared of Rangers because they just seem to be a very like aggressive,
I
vicious
think
team.
everyone should be, but
Yeah,
like it'll get to the point where you're in like the 70th or 80th, like 70th minute, and the Rangers players will be tired just because
yeah.
of the size of the
They're a
pitch.
very similar team to Leeds because they just attack,
Yeah.
attack, attack, which
Oh
leaves them
yeah.
vulnerable in defence. So judging by how we handled Leeds earlier, we like absolutely annihilated them. I'd probably back us to win that. So I think we genuinely have a very good chance. So that is who I think is going to win it. We have the manager who's only won it, I think, twice up before. I can't remember exactly, but he definitely has history in this competition. Obviously, he's won many trophies in the past. He knows how to get a team from A to B. Like, if you like, Mourinho's that manager you want for that one game. If you were to have one game and all you need to do is win it, he's the best man you
He's your
have.
big game manager.
Yeah, he's your
He
big
is your
game
big
manager.
game manager.
Like Klopp.
Do you think, say he wins this tournament with Tottenham, do you think that is a better trophy? Like him winning the trophy with Spurs, do you think it's a better win than him winning the trophy with United?
Yeah, 100%. Because I know that Mourinho did he win the double the year you won that? Did he win like the FA Cup or something in the same season?
No. We only won Europa League. We haven't won FA Cup in a while.
Oh yeah, but the whole the whole point of winning the Europa League for Tottenham, the reason why it's better, because we haven't won any trophy for 13 years, let alone a European trophy. So if he comes in and wins that for us, it wouldn't just like make us happy.
It's also a gateway into Champions League, which let's face it,
there's so many benefits to it.
Favourites.
There's like three main benefits. One, like you just said, gets us into the Champions League, which could attract potential signings. Two, it wins us a trophy, and a European trophy at that. We haven't won a European trophy since I can't even tell you. And then the third reason, it would give Mourinho even more of a legacy. Because right now, he has that legacy of winning big trophies at smaller clubs. Maybe he's started to lose that a little bit now, because he's been sacked quite a lot recently. But if he could come and say that his last job was at Tottenham, got them a European trophy when they needed it most, proving everyone won, because everyone's saying Mourinho's finished, he's dinosaur. Like, if he was to win that, it'd not like just be a massive boost for us, it'd be a massive boost for him, just to prove everyone wrong, basically.
His Instagram page is going to pop it.
Yeah, I know. You can tell he's very confident as well, because he posts. I think he made a post a while ago. Like, he was holding like 2 Europa League footballs, symbolising the 2 he's already won in the past. And he was like, and he has one in the other hand. Yeah, he wants the third. You can tell he really wants it. So, yeah.
I could really see the United beat Tottenham final, which would be great.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be a brilliant game.
It'd be a great rematch, especially like, I don't know when we play you in the league, but it'll probably be before the Europa League final.
Yeah.
Or whenever we match up. I'm still confident that United are going to win it, and we can win it. We're probably the best team in the tournament. Like,
judging off like your league standing and like but yeah.
I was going to say that there's a team that we haven't really mentioned, and that's Ajax, and I feel like they get really overlooked. Obviously, they had a terrible Champions League, like, as well as us. I'm not saying we didn't, but they have a terrible Champions League. And since Donny van der Beek's left and De Jong's gone, and their captain De Ligt goes, they've really crumbled and haven't been able to hold, like, having Huntelaar, who I believe is their star striker.
Yes, how old is he? Like 40.
Yeah, exactly. He's old, and they got young boys who they should beat, but they are the best team in Netherlands for a reason. Like, they can play football. But I feel like them and Rangers are massive underdogs for this competition. I don't see either of them winning it, but I just want to say, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Ajax can get to like the semi-finals.
One thing that I did sort of notice is that those like 3 main players you just mentioned, like the Ajax trio of Van der Beek, De Ligt, and De Jong, there's this whole speculation around them having a sort of weak bottlers mentality, and that's because obviously when they all played in the same team against Tottenham, they somehow bottled a 3-0 or 2 or 3-0 win in like in like 45 minutes. And then you see De Jong move to Barcelona. he's playing in that team. Bottles are, I wouldn't say bottle, but they get thrashed by Bayern. And then you see De Ligt plays for Juventus. I think they had a decent lead in the Champions League, and then they get bottle it. They get knocked out by, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Lyon last year.
Yeah.
And then obviously Van der Beek hasn't played much since he's signed for United, but who knows? He could also be part of some sort of bottling for United and keep that sort of not legacy, but keep that sort of curse coming. Because I did see a post about that, and I realised it actually made sense. Like those Dutch players seem to have some.
There's just like there's obviously a lot more factors to it, but when I've seen like Van der Beek play, he's been incredible. Like I haven't seen like one fault really in his game. I don't really watch a lot of De Jong and De Ligt, so I can't really say other than what I see in their Champions League performances. And they both seem to be doing great. So I think it's more of a club. Like we know Barcelona, like that club right now is getting like.
I heard something that apparently they're going to sell the Nou Camp.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Like they're in turmoil right now.
Yeah, they're really bad. And Juventus, obviously, it doesn't look like Ronaldo is going to be staying there for a lot longer. Maybe he's got one more season there. And for me, like, I don't even know if they're first in Serie A.
No, I think they're like third. I think Inter are first, and then AC Milan are second.
I'm filming. Cheers. Sorry. But I'd like Juventus obviously aren't the strongest like over since the past 10 years or how many times they've won that Serie A. So they're throwing away. So like obviously you have this thing of you can't blame it just on them three players. You also got to look at the whole team and obviously everything around that, the managers, coaching staff, blah blah blah, etc. But there is obviously some truth in what you're saying.
There is some
you guys cannot handle
common denominator there. Something's going on.
Yeah, 100%. Do you want to move on to?
Yeah, I think that's covered the European
Cup.
FA Cup.
Yeah, we'll move on to the FA Cup. We'll leave Champions League to last because that's probably the most entertaining.
Thing
to watch. But FA Cup, 8 more teams in it. You got one Championship team in Bournemouth, one relegated team in Sheffield United, and then the rest are realistically mid and top teams. We'll go through each game. So Bournemouth, Southampton, it should be an easy clean up for Southampton.
Yeah,
realistically.
Although, but Bournemouth aren't completely written out of it because Southampton are playing terribly right now, and I don't know how well Bournemouth are doing in the Championship, but that could potentially, because I know Brentford's beat Newcastle, so it's not totally out of the question that Bournemouth win that game. And
it's the thing. In the 5th round, Bournemouth beat Burnley away 2-0. Which is like we
Burnley
talk about
away,
Burnley
2-0.
So many times, and then Sheffield United beat Bristol City 1-0 at home, but Bristol City got a red card, so they didn't play great either. And obviously, like Sheffield United, they're not playing the greatest football this season, as everybody's probably witnessed. However, they got nothing to lose. They like Sheffield United, they might as well just throw everything. Yeah. I know we'll go on to Sheffield United in a second, but Bournemouth got nothing realistically to lose. I don't know how they're doing in the Championship, like you said, but when you come up against a team that's so much better than you just got to give it everything. Yeah. But I think Southampton will win, but I don't see there's no hard feelings on Bournemouth if they lose.
Yeah, they've got decently far so far. To be fair, they've got further than Arsenal. They've got further than Arsenal. Got further than I can't think
Liverpool.
of any. Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool, Villa, so many teams. Moving on to Sheffield United, they are away to Chelsea. You got to realistically think of Tuchel's Chelsea they could win this game 5-6.
Yeah, I just want to quickly gloss over Tuchel and what he's doing so far. I think he's doing an amazing job. Because one thing I've noticed is that they aren't really scoring that many goals. Like they only tend to score 1 or 2 goals a game. But the big difference between him and Lampard is that they don't really concede either. Like, I think he's got 5 clean sheets out of 6 home games. It's unreal. Like, he's got...
Yeah, that 5 at the back is crazy.
They're playing that weird tactic where they have 5 defenders, 5 attackers. And it seems to be working really well. Like, they don't concede goals.
Yeah, and then your 2 midfielders just sit and your 2 midfielders, your 2, it's Jorginho Kante and Kovacic. One of 2 of that pairing. 2 of those 3, I mean. And they just sit and just pass it out. And it's working really well. Obviously, they push United to a draw. He hasn't lost, so he's going to be going with full confidence. Like that's a game of where they have this squad depth now of because they brought in 7 players of
Yeah.
in that game. Tammy Abraham can play, Mason Mount can play, Kai Havertz can play. You can have 7 players playing, and it's still a much better team than Sheffield United. And I think like despite of what happened with Frank Lampard and him bringing in 7 new signings that didn't work, it's really sorted out their squad depth.
Yeah.
And that's
Because
something
even
that
players like
Chelsea and a lot of
Chilwell,
other teams struggle.
even players who Chilwell, who aren't like their main player, he's still a decent player and he can come on and fill those games. And this hasn't really got much to do with this video, but I really want to see literally right now Chelsea versus Man City. That would be such a great game because two teams that don't really seem to be conceding many goals, and yeah, obviously I'd honestly back Chelsea to win that if it was to be played literally today. Because
if it was played today, yeah, probably. They play each other on the 8th of May.
Not too far away. Well, actually, no, that's quite far away. But
8th of May, Chelsea are in like. Oh, we'll go back to actually the FA Cup, but we'll cover the Premier League in a bit. But yeah, no, what Chelsea's done with Tuchel is what Tuchel's done with Chelsea. Sorry, is absolutely incredible. He's really sorted it out. I feel like Chelsea were a bit harsh on Frank Lampard, but
yeah, one thing I will say
is
that I still think it's wrong that they sacked Lampard, but at least it has worked out well. Like I think it was hard. I mean, you know what the whole culture around Chelsea is. It's like win or get sacked. But even though he has got sacked, it's probably for the best. Even though it's not at the same time, if you know what I mean, because he's still doing they're doing. You could argue it's the new manager bounce, but it's just at this rate they'll guarantee.
It happened when Frank Lampard was at the club. He didn't lose 16 games in a row. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came to United, obviously he went on a crazy winning streak, crazy undefeated streak. So it's not new. It's not something new we've seen, but it's instant impact, which is what Chelsea definitely wanted.
Yeah.
Moving on, third game, Everton, Man City. Man City away. It's like, despite of like how good Everton's played today, Everton will play their strongest squad, and Man City will play their second squad, which is still stronger than Everton's squad.
I saw another clip by Mark Goldbridge. Shout out to Mark. Like, he makes a lot of good points. And he said that the only reason that why Man City have managed to go on this insane winning streak is because of their depth. Like, they can just constantly rest 100%. Player after rest player after rest player, where teams like Liverpool, United, or even Tottenham to some degree, they can't really rest players because they haven't got as good depth. I know we have half decent squad depth, but we don't have the strength to just go on a 20-win streak by just continuously rotating players. But like you just mentioned, Man City, they could play their B team and still thrash half the teams in the league. So, he's pretty much saying that.
You said about squad depth there. Yeah, you said about squad depth, and think of like the position that comes to me when I think of City and squad depth is their right wing spot. I mean, that's because you got Sterling, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva.
Yeah. One game you could play Mahrez if he plays badly. Play Bernardo if he plays badly. Play Sterling if he plays well. Like, it's unreal.
It's not just that. It's just like all of them players. They don't just play right wing. They can play striker. They can play in that false nine position. They can play
basically
on the left.
Anyone in that attack can play anywhere in the attack. Any winger can play either side. They can play up front. It's really good at just moulding players to attacking position.
Yeah, no, it's incredible what he's done. But obviously, I'm glad that he's open and honest about he wouldn't be able to get this amount of players and he wouldn't go on these streaks without the money. And obviously, the money's the biggest factor of that. They wouldn't be able to afford half of these players. But when you see a defeat to United, and that is it's not the biggest game of their season, but it is one of the biggest games of their season. That's gonna drop the dressing room in the heads, and you never know. Southampton Southampton tomorrow or tonight, I believe. If they struggle against that, or they maybe lose, you don't know what's gonna happen in that game. We could see a whole different City coming into the later end of the season. But then they also do have the chances of just smacking Southampton 9-0.
Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to upload this video because we mentioned that I think prediction videos aren't really that interesting to watch. But I think in that video we both predicted City to thrash Southampton about 6-7-0. Because looking at Southampton's track record, they are totally capable of getting battered 9-0 because we've seen it twice in the space of 2 years. So add to that Southampton in even worse form, and then play them against an even better team. Like they could potentially get absolutely annihilated. Maybe not 9-0 because they did get a man sent off in both those games fairly early, but I'm talking at least 4 or 5. Like you know, Man City have the tendency to just destroy teams. Like they seem to destroy Burnley at home, like 5-0 every year. They've destroyed us. Like they do seem to destroy teams very easily, and then a team like Southampton, who haven't really got the depth, like not even compared to most teams, but let alone City, like Man City will probably thrash that team, and then go on to Everton, and then I probably would back Man City to win that as well as Everton are playing right now. Although it's not set in stone because you never know what Carlo Ancelotti's capable.
Not a guaranteed victory for Man City.
It's not,
especially with Carlo Ancelotti as the manager.
It's not the sort of game. Literally a week ago, if you would have said that game, you would have thought, "Oh, Man City all day long." But it's not like that Man City are beatable right now. Like they do look slightly vulnerable. I don't think they played badly against United, but yeah.
I think they got completely tactically outclassed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I love saying that. Like that's an amazing phrase to say. And it's happened the past few occasions, but I feel like Pep's going to quickly learn from his mistake. He doesn't seem like
they were very naive in that game. They just went into that game thinking that they could pass them around and just break them apart. But Man United had a game plan, and they just played it perfectly.
Yeah, Luke Shaw. Yeah, Luke Shaw, incredible. It was an incredible performance from us. And speaking about us, we hope we're away to Leicester. And this is obviously the biggest game out of the 4, and I'm going to be honest, I think we're going to smash them.
Yeah, because Leicester... Is Vardy... I'm not sure if Vardy's out or not, but Maddison's out.
No. Vardy is literally the only player in.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like 9 injuries or something. Like, obviously, that's so unfortunate. And no team would ever want 9 injuries, let alone a team that's trying to battle for top 4.
Yeah.
But when you have Manchester United, obviously, we have some injuries, but all the players are now slowly coming back. And... obviously, David De Gea looks like he's probably going to play this game in a couple of weeks' time because Dean Henderson looks like he's taken over while David De Gea and his wife are having a kid. That sounded a little bit wrong.
One thing that you just reminded me about, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but one thing you mentioned about like Leicester and Man United both not in a title race, but they are battling for top 4. And I'm going to go back to the Europa League because I want to say that, like, for me, you either do well in the Europa League or get top 4. It's very rare you get both because that schedule of playing Thursdays weekend with only a couple of days rest, it does seem to like kill teams a lot because whenever you see it, like the United scored that one Europa League, for example, they finished 7th, 6th in the league.
And, we were like 6 or 7.
And then when you did well in the league, you didn't get anywhere near winning the Europa League. I know you were in the Champions League that year, but still, like, being in the top 4, like, is mutually exclusive, I'd say, to winning the Europa League. It's very rare you get both because of the whole game schedule. Like, unless you have the depth of a team like City, you're not going to be able to play Thursdays, Sundays consistently without having to continuously rotate players and just, like, players lose fitness very easily. So, I think Leicester...
Thursday night and Saturday morning. That's Saturday lunchtime, like Saturday 12:30 kickoff, and then Thursday night. That's the worst.
Well, I think I know Leicester are already out of it, but they definitely prioritise the league because getting Champions League football, just guaranteed over winning the Europa League is much bigger. I know they'd get it anyway if they won the Europa League, but just securing it now, it'd be a lot better. For United, I'd probably say you're more. Like, what as a United fan, what would you say you're more interested in being in top? If you could only get one top 4 or Europa League, what are you going for?
I'd rather get. I think the way the season's gone, we have to get top 4. Like, we've been second for we're favourites to come second. I feel like the way the season. If you told me at the start of the season, would you rather come top 4 or Europa League? I'd probably say Europa League just because I wanted the trophy. But now I'm like. just get top four, but close. Make sure City don't run away with it by like 10, 15 points. Just try and keep that gap as close as possible. I was listening to Gary Neville and he said United are probably definite to come second. Is the fact that do they become a good second or a bad second? And what he means by that is, do they somehow close this point gap? Obviously, it's only like 9 points or 11 points, something like that, between them and City, or are they going to keep themselves in that battle for top four? And that's the thing for me as a United fan of, if we get knocked out by AC Milan in the FA Cup, in the Europa League, of course I'm going to be gutted. Like, we're getting knocked out again.
There's no shame in that, though.
But there's no shame in losing to AC Milan, one of the best teams in Syria right now. But then if we don't finish outside the top four, I think that's humiliating for us.
Yeah.
Like, that's really bad for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
And the last thing I want to say about the Europa League, because I know we're talking about the FA Cup right now, but another reason why I think Tottenham have a great chance is because we're not doing particularly well in the league. I know that right now we're on a great run, and we are mathematically in the top four race right now. But I think because we were doing so poorly in the league and in the league before, it allowed us to just go or put all of our eggs in the Europa League basket, and I think that's benefited us more than harmed us. Because, like I said, although we are in the top four race right now, I don't think we'll get it. But not going full strength in the league to get top four would probably benefit us in Europa League, because it will allow us to play full strength teams when we come up against better sides. Obviously, we can still play B teams now because our draw's fairly lucky. Oh, and my cat needs to be let out. You can talk about it for a second.
Yeah, no, like Tottenham, they've obviously the only other competition you're in is the Carabao Cup, and that's only one game.
Yeah.
So not being in the FA Cup, not really being in a race for top four, but like mathematically you are, and obviously some fans will think that you should be getting top four, but you're not really in that race for it.
I wouldn't say we are. I wouldn't say we are.
Yeah, there's also like the other thing you got to realistically focus on is the cup, and we know, like we talked about earlier, Jose Mourinho is one of the best when it comes to winning cups. So you guys and us, like you and us, are probably the two favorites to win it. Maybe you guys more than us, just because of the amount of games that we are going to have in the future. If we beat Leicester,
you're gonna have a lot of games.
We're getting to that business end of the season where it's just so jam packed. I want to go talking about a little bit of the Premier League table here, because it's been since we predicted the top four, I believe.
Yeah, in our last podcast.
Three. Quite a lot has changed. Obviously, we've seen Liverpool go on a massive losing streak, 6 games losing at home. It's awful. They are currently 8th. When you look at top four, it's United, City, United, Leicester, and Chelsea. There's only one change I see in that, and that's Chelsea finishing above Leicester. Just the way they're playing.
Yeah. Honestly,
do we still think that top four is going to stay the same?
Honestly, I genuinely think that Chelsea were going to get second place now. I think they have a shot, because the momentum they're gaining right now is kind of like a snowball effect. They're just going to keep rolling and getting bigger and bigger. And United, although they just did me, I want to see Man United's next game to see how they've reacted.
Yeah, West Ham.
Yeah, but I back the Chelsea getting top four regardless, but I genuinely back them to finish second over United. United still getting top four, but I think the second place is going to go to Chelsea now.
Yeah, no, I was talking to we were talking about in politics, talking football and politics, and Jack Quinlan, shout out Jack if you're watching it. But he was saying that Chelsea are finishing second, and I was just like, no way. Like, as a United fan, I'm always going to back my team, but I don't see Chelsea finishing second, just because I like a 4-point gap. I don't think United are going to drop that. Like,
do you still play Chelsea in the league?
Pardon?
Have you still got to play Chelsea in the league at some point?
No. No, we drew to them both times.
Oh yeah. I was going to say, if you did have to play them one more time and they win, that's 3 points immediately gone, and that's only 1 point. So
it's like we got West Ham, who I'm confident we can beat. Then we got Brighton, who we beat. We got you, which is going to be a good game, but I still think we beat you. Burnley we beat. Leeds we beat. Liverpool we probably beat. Villa will be a tough game for us. Then we have Leicester again, who we probably beat. Fulham we beat and Wolves we beat. But I say that we could definitely not lose another game in this league. But it's Manchester United, and we've seen that we can lose to anyone, but we can also beat anyone.
Yeah. So what? Well, I know we got sidetracked there. What competition are we on right now? We're on the FA Cup.
Yeah. Well, we pretty much finished the FA
Oh, yeah.
Cup, so there's only realistically one more to go to, and that's the Big Boy Champions League.
Have
League
you said who's going to win the FA Cup?
Oh yeah, no, we didn't do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Honestly, I'm gonna be boring Man City. Like if it's the one thing that's gonna make them the one reason why I think they're gonna win it is because even if they don't win one of the 4 trophies, they're gonna want to win as many trophies as possible. So they'll probably just whitewash everyone and just batter them, win the FA Cup, probably batter us, win the Carabao Cup. They've won the league already. And then, although the amount of games they'll have to play might affect them, but they have got the depth
that squad depth is incredible. It's incredible.
That's the one reason why they'll probably win everything, because, like, even playing all those games,
it's like there's no other team in the country that has the same squad depth as everyone's B team is awful. Like everyone's B team is realistically like a low, like the top 10 teams in the Premier League, their B team are bottom 10 teams. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Man City's team could probably still challenge for Europa League.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Like that's the difference. I'm gonna say a bold shout. I consider what was still realistic. Like say what you want. Like we can still win the league. Obviously, mathematically can. Do I think we're going to? No. You're also realistic when you focus on FA Cup and Europa League. I'd rather win Europa League. I'm going to go with. I think that if we come up against City, we beat them.
Yeah,
and that's because of the performance that we just showed against them. And also, I know in the FA Cup games, Eric Bailey's going to play, and he is a massive difference for Manchester United's team. So I think that it's going to be between us, Chelsea and City. I think Chelsea look like they're going to have an easy set of games. So I think Chelsea are guaranteed a final place. Be in a final. Chelsea United, I'm going to back United, but I still think I think Chelsea will win it. But I still think
it's a good shout. Like Tuchel will come in. We saw a similar thing last season with Arteta. I know he didn't go anywhere near as a good run as Tuchel, but we have seen it before. A new manager come in and they just win an FA Cup. So I'm
going Chelsea to win it, but I think United can do it as well.
Yeah. So your heart says United, your head says Chelsea.
Yeah.
All right. So next one, Champions League.
Champions League action. We'll do some predictions for the games today, and we won't do them tomorrow because we'll do a watch along with that. But I don't know when this video is coming out. That's down to you, Will. But we'll go through all of the games and obviously all of the first fixtures, give a little recap, and then obviously state our predictions for the next set of games and who we think is going to win. Starting off, Leipzig, Liverpool, 2-0 Liverpool, but Liverpool currently
and they're playing. Are they playing at home? Oh, no, they're playing away.
Liverpool are away, but I don't know if it's at Leipzig. I don't think it is.
Yeah. Honestly, I know Leipzig haven't got the greatest squad anymore because obviously Werner's gone. Upamecano's on his way to Bayern, which has made him, I think, subconsciously play worse.
Yeah, he doesn't care really.
Yeah, but saying that, Liverpool obviously are looking disgraceful right now. And 2-0 isn't impossible to come back on. Because where did they play their last game? Was it Anfield or was it a neutral venue? Whose home game was it last? I can't remember. I don't know.
Liverpool won 2-0 at home.
So, if it was away, then
the game tomorrow is Leipzig's home game.
So going off that, Liverpool don't look like scoring unless it's a penalty. So as long as Leipzig don't score, all they have to do is score a couple goals. But it's a hard one to call, because both teams aren't looking necessarily strong. But obviously Liverpool have got the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I feel like Leipzig's actually a strong, good team right now.
Yeah.
the thing is, like Liverpool and like the entire Liverpool team's like, screw the league. Right, we ain't doing anything in that league. Let's just give up on that. We might as well just go for it in the Champions League. Like they're nowhere near favourites now. Like you could probably say Dortmund is more of a favourite to them,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Because
When you're
Dortmund as
2-0 up
well.
against Leipzig and you've not got centre backs, it is dangerous. Like Savitzer can play passes.
Yeah, you haven't even got
Like
Henderson
second,
now. Like you didn't even like you've
you've
lost your
not got a
half bads. Yeah. Like when they beat Leipzig, they had no defense, but at least they had some sort of commanding figure. Now they haven't even got that, as well as no defense. So like,
yeah, they just got a great front three, and
they're not
obviously
even
you
playing
can say
well.
like the scoring, like whether they're scoring or not, but that front three is still one of the best front threes in the world, and they like Salah can score at any moment. He's a player which he doesn't need other people around him to help him score.
He can just out of nowhere
So
score.
I can't see Liverpool giving away a 2-0 lead. Like I just don't see it happening in 90 minutes. Just it's going to be this thing of where just sit back and just don't
Yeah,
attack.
it'll be a
Like,
very
just keep
anti-Liverpool performance, I reckon. They'll probably just not play that intense, just get the result. It'll probably be 0-0. Like that's a very likely scoreline for it to be. Although Leipzig
yeah,
do often score quite a few goals. So if you're doing game predictions, I'm actually going to go 0-0 because we've seen plenty of times this season when there's a team that just can't afford to get knocked out because it's their only like source of success left. They'll probably just stink out a 0-0.
I'm gonna go 1-0. I feel like Leipzig will still manage a way to get that ball in the Liverpool net just because of how bad Liverpool are defending.
Yeah.
But I think Salah will come up with a stroke of brilliance.
Well,
But
there's 2 games today.
I don't see either of these teams winning this Champions League. Like no way.
So there's 2 games today. There's Borussia Dortmund against Sevilla and Juventus against Porto. Now Dortmund are currently 3-2 against Sevilla. That was their away game, I believe. So they got 3 away goals. Did concede 2, but again they still have the advantage. Obviously Haaland was unreal in this game. I think he scored. Did he score a hat trick?
Yeah, hat-trick Haaland, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course he did, because Mbappe and Haaland both scored hat tricks. And then Juventus against Porto. Porto actually leading 2-1 on aggregate, and that was Porto's home game. So this game's going to be at.
Yeah, I'm gonna make 2, I think, very obvious claims of that. Juventus are gonna win and go through. Dortmund are gonna win and go through.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say Dortmund's gonna go through is because one, they scored 3 away goals.
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
big.
There's no like. I don't think anyone could tell me. No one could tell me that Haaland is not gonna score in this game. There's no one that's not gonna tell me that this kid is not gonna go score. But I think Dortmund, like 3 away goals, like all they have to do is realistically keep it a draw.
Because even if Sevilla score or like say the game's, I don't know, 2-1 to Sevilla, like Dortmund still technically have the advantage. So yeah, and then I think we've mentioned.
The reason why I say Juventus Porto is just because of Ronaldo.
Yeah,
like, Ronaldo
I think we mentioned in a previous predictions video that similarly to a couple of years ago, Ronaldo will just turn out of nowhere, score a hat trick, and get them through. Like he's
he's a big game player.
Yeah, obviously the king of the Champions League. I think he holds every single record imaginable in the competition. Most goals, most wins, most appearances. Like he probably has the. I don't know. He just has every record imaginable.
He's in the Hall of Fame for Champions League. He goes down as one of the greats all time. Like we could talk for hours and hours and hours about Ronaldo, but for me, he's just this player. Like I could see him scoring 3 or 4 goals against Porto just by himself. Like doesn't need anyone around him. He's that good. He doesn't.
At 35 as well, he still got it.
When you're only 1 goal down and you got an away goal as well.
Yeah, so they've got to score a goal, and then if they win 1-0, then they're through because they've got an away goal. Yeah.
Move on to tomorrow's fixtures. We're doing a live watch along. I don't know if this video's out in time, but if not, go watch a live watch along anyway. So we're recording
this on a Tuesday, and this is going to go out on Wednesday, so it might be out before then, but I'm not sure.
Well, it's 8 o'clock kickoff, so
Paris against Barcelona.
We done Leipzig, Liverpool, PSG, Barcelona. PSG up 4-1.
Yeah.
Away. PSG 4-1 away. They now go home to a
with 4
what you
away
can
goals.
say is what you can say is arguably the weakest Barcelona team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, definitely. Like they've got
Like,
Messi, who's still obviously a great player, but not the player he used to be. Griezmann, who's been one of the biggest flops in recent times. Like their star striker is Braithwaite or whatever his name is. Like
yeah, I
it's
know.
just poor. Like that whole heart of Barcelona of Iniesta, Xavi, Neymar, Suarez. Like Barcelona letting Suarez go to Atletico is probably one of the biggest mistakes like ever made because he's now
For
gone.
20 for like 20 million as
Yeah,
well, or something very
because
like wasn't for a massive fee.
he's now gone to Atletico. I think he's top goal scorer in La Liga. They're top of the league, and yeah,
Incredible.
Barcelona. Like it will take some miracle for them to win this game because I know they did come back from a 4-0 loss before by winning 6-1, but that was when
But
they
it's a completely different
that was when
thing.
they
Yeah.
had prime Messi. They had Iniesta, they had Neymar, Suarez, but now it's no, I can't see it happening.
But the way I see like Barcelona is like these like Barcelona, Real Madrid especially are like kings of football. Like these are the two clubs that dominated football for years and years. All the way like my entire life growing up, basically, I've seen Barcelona, Real Madrid dominate football for years, whether that's Champions League or like the La Liga used to
Yeah,
what's the El Clasico? It
yeah,
used to be huge
yeah.
because of these two teams.
I
And
can't tell you the
since
last time I
Ronaldo's left,
watched El Clasico.
it's really
It's
changed.
so boring now. El Clasico. Like you've gone from Ronaldo versus Messi, Puyol against Ramos, you know those sort of lineups, to now Griezmann against Benzema. Like no
Yeah, it's
disrespect
not
because I think
the
Benzema is actually underrated, but it's not what it used to be. Probably about maybe 4 or 5 years ago to in even longer before, La Liga was the best league in the world because all of the everyone in the world that was the best player played in La Liga. Like you had like
yeah.
Modric, Cruz, Ramos, Messi, Ronaldo, obviously, like Neymar. Now most of the world class players in the world are in the Premier League. So
Even if you go back further than that, and you look at like Ronaldinho,
yeah.
Samuel Eto'o,
Eto,
like players.
Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, Zidane,
Like let's go back to
Raul.
Barca PSG. I don't see a way Barcelona catch back.
Honestly, it wouldn't be unquestionable for Barcelona to win this game, but not the overall game. I could see them winning like 2-1, 3-1 maybe, but obviously it won't be enough because getting 4
Yeah,
away
especially
goals.
like this is the trophy that PSG won. Like
Yeah,
there were two teams. We'll get on to City a little bit later when we talk about them versus Gladbach. But City and PSG, they want this trophy more
yeah.
than any other
Having
team. Like
having PSG and City in a final would be one of the best finals in the world. Not only because
yeah,
they both really want it, but two like
two great teams.
two great, like I don't want to say it in a disrespectful way, but two teams built around money, like Neymar, Mbappe, De Bruyne, like these sort of like no disrespect to League One, but winning League One 10 years in a row, it is not impressive given how good PSG is compared to everyone else. But so winning a Champions
You
League,
know, obviously it's very impressive to win a league, but
yeah,
when you compare it to obviously others, like PSG are funded by an entire country. That's
yeah,
incredible. Like you're not funded by like a billionaire or of how like City are. You're funded by a country. Like that's completely different. And honestly, there's still the thing of yes, they have massive money. Don't get me wrong. They've still built up this whole foundations of like Mbappe wouldn't be where he is without PSG, and Mbappe is probably the best youngster in the world right now, apart from Haaland. So yes, obviously money plays a big factor, but there is so much towards it, and I feel like that's what people need to
you've also
understand.
got
And
two great
when you look at
managers as well, like Pep Guardiola, but Pochettino. Pochettino yet to, I know he's won a couple trophies in Paris already, but yet to win like a massive trophy. I still think he's probably top 4 maybe managers in the world right now in terms of just managerial ability.
he won a trophy on his first game
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like that, didn't
I
he?
know, and obviously,
Although that doesn't really count.
yeah, I know, but still, two great managers in entertaining, like attacking football. And yeah, if that is the final, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it is very likely to be, but it does involve Bayern losing. That is going to be one hell of a game, better than.
Let's say City PSG get to the final. Does Pep Guardiola have a great record against Pochettino? I'm not too sure. I feel like you would.
I don't actually. I don't think he has like a noticeably good record, because obviously we beat them in the Champions League twice. Well, we lost the game but won overall. I don't think in terms of the league he's actually had that much. I think he's probably even. Like, probably out of 5 games, he's probably won 3. We've won 2. We've won 3. He's won 2. It's probably about even. But obviously, Man City are 10 times the team Tottenham was. So it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about City now, and obviously they got Gladbach, and I just want to say for any City fans watching, if there actually are any out there,
if they exist,
you get the easiest scores compared to any other team.
You look at
this, it's
the most relatable thing. Like take the FA Cup for example. Like, there's our draw, Everton. You get Leicester. They'll probably get Lincoln Park away or something like that. They just get the easiest games. What, Lincoln Park's a band. Yeah, that's not even.
Gladbach, like the only other team, obviously Gladbach done amazing in their group, but they are one of the worst teams left. And when you think of, they got knocked out by obviously Lyon, I believe. I think they got
Monaco.
knocked out by Liverpool 1 year, Monaco. They get knocked out by teams that are just way worse than them. And you can say like Pep Guardiola got it wrong against you guys, for example, and he gets it wrong in the games that realistically really matter. And that's the thing with Pep Guardiola. If he can sort that out this year, like, I think everyone's certain that City about to go and smash Gladbach. And then they'll move on, and let's say, I don't know who they're going to have in the next round, but the chances of them getting someone really good is
realistically, like, on paper, you can't really see them losing to a team unless it's either Bayern or PSG. But you'd probably back Man City to beat them both.
I think a Flamengo is a great match for Man City.
Although Chelsea are currently winning 1-0 with an away goal.
Yeah, we'll talk about Flamengo in a second. But yeah, no, I see Man City smashing that. But before we get into Chelsea, there's obviously 2 more games just before that. And one of them games is Real Madrid versus Atlanta. And Real Madrid, they go into that game 1-0 up with an away goal. So they ain't like, Real Madrid are no longer these kings of football, like we talked about earlier with Barcelona, Real Madrid. They're no longer these kings. They're just like a normal team. They're a little bit like United. Obviously, they're still better, but I'm not fully confident. Like, Atlanta are massive underdogs, like, in this competition.
Yeah, like, they've got good players. Like, they've got I know Gomez is gone now to Sevilla, I think, but they've got like Zapata, who's a decent player. They've got I can't be getting into my head, but I know they have the quality in their team. And yeah, having a 1 away goal is a decent cushion, but all they have to do now is concede once and it's level again. So it kind of doesn't really do that much. If they also get 2 away goals, it's a different story. But the fact they only got 1, it just there's definitely room to bottle it, I reckon. Like, Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, Real Madrid, like, despite what you say of they're not themselves without Ronaldo or Bell or whatever you want, they are still one of the best teams in the world. Like,
whether they're good or not, they'll still have this sort of fear factor around them. Like, oh, we're playing Real Madrid. Like,
it's Real Madrid. Like, the history, like, you never want to play. Like, you never wanted to draw Real Madrid or Barcelona in the past. Now you don't mind it. But they're obviously still with fear factor of, Jesus Christ, these guys can play football.
Yeah. Like, but you could argue the same thing around Liverpool and Man United. Like, if you were to draw Liverpool right now in any competition, you'd still be worried because they are Liverpool at the end of the day. But
yeah, I think Man United a little less because our history was so far back. Like, obviously, a lot of our history came in like the 90s and like the early 2000s, and like in the early like 2000s, But now, since Ferguson left in 2013, we've kind of just been known as just like this normal team, as well as like Arsenal as well. Obviously, these were 2 massive clubs, Man United and Arsenal. We were now just like normal clubs. I feel like United are doing everything they can, and they're making progression every single day of becoming one of the biggest teams in football again, and not the biggest team, but I mean one of the best teams in football again.
Yeah.
And hopefully we see them consistently now getting Champions League and doing well in the tournament as well, not getting knocked out very early.
So
Yeah, we'll move on. Bayern, Lazio. I think everyone knows that Bayern are about to smash these guys.
they got
even though
4
the
away goals already.
Four-way you got like. I don't think they need to realistically play this game. Like, they might as well Lazio might
Get a
go up.
rest. Get a week off.
Their team is just so good. Like, every single player is great in that team. Like, say what you want about them. Like, their manager is incredible. Robert Lewandowski, like, this guy's like, what, 36, 37 now? Something like that.
No, he's like, I don't think he's that old. I think he's like 33 or 34. He's around the same age as Messi, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's still an incredible player. Serge Gnabry obviously got so much talent, and I think like there's not really much London clubs left, but if Bayern can draw Chelsea, Serge Gnabry's gonna have a field day. Like when it comes to the Euros, I think me and you were talking about this either or like on the watch along or something like that, or at school or something like that. But we just said like if the Euros are all in England, I think Serge Gnabry has
Yeah.
I think he can be top goal scorer. Not because I don't think he's the best player there, but this guy loves London for some reason. Like he loves scoring.
It's 4 goals
in
against
London.
us. I think he scored a hat-trick against Chelsea. Obviously, Bayern a couple of years ago destroyed Arsenal. So, yeah. Going back to the Champions League, that being said, I don't think Bayern are as strong as they were last year. Because although they have been winning a lot of games, like you've seen them, like obviously, they did go 2-0 down to Dortmund in 10 minutes. I know they still won the game, but it shows.
Shaky start to the season.
It shows that they have an Achilles heel almost. Like they are.
Yeah, I
they
feel
are
like
more beatable.
Dortmund is also a massive part to why they are like not like things because you see how well Dortmund are doing, and you see like Bayern are just matching that. They're not destroying.
Yeah.
Like they say Dortmund go win 4-0. Bayern would win 5-0, where people would expect them to win 7 or 8. Like, for example, you expect Bayern to do so much better than they actually are, but they're still doing great.
Yeah, like, if you played Bayern last season, you would just be like, nope, not winning, not even going to score a goal. They are absolutely insane. But now, like, it's... Yeah, you can give it a go. Like, they're not unbeatable. So...
Yeah, well, I think that makes us go into our last game forward thing, and probably the biggest game out of all of them.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel's Mr. Tickles Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid.
Mr. Tickles.
Mr. Chelsea versus Atletico
one
Madrid. A massive game. I don't think people understand how big this game is. Not just because it's Chelsea Atletico, but for what it means for both of these clubs. Like, I don't know the last time Chelsea made it into the quarters or the semis.
Not for a while, I don't think.
But like both of these two clubs are the best they've ever been in so long.
Yeah.
And when the draw first happened, and Chelsea fans were like, "Oh my god, we got Atletico Madrid," and then who scored? Olivier Giroud does the bicycle kick, and all of a sudden Chelsea are pumped. And when you go home, especially with the record they have and how Tuchel's undefeated so far, they are big favourites for this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, also a very experienced European manager in Tuchel. Been in the Champions, he's guarantees to play in the Champions League every year.
Last year.
Yeah, and
he definitely knows what it's like.
Yeah, playing for managing PSG, you're guaranteed Europe Champions League football every year, near enough. So he's gonna have that track record.
It wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea can get to like the semis in this tournament.
Yeah. Like they're probably second best to like Man City, Bayern, and PSG in my opinion.
Yeah, like they're just under them. They're probably like on the same level as Real Madrid and Juventus.
Yeah. Like because Dortmund aren't actually doing that well. I don't even think they're in top 4 in Bundesliga right now. I think they're like 6th or like 5th.
Which is weird considering, like when you think of Dortmund, obviously right now you literally think of Haaland and the amount of goals scoring, and you think like I think he scores like more than 1 goal a game.
Yeah, he averages more than 1 goal a game.
Yeah, then you look at that and you're just like, this kid is a machine. But what about the rest of the team? They do nothing pretty much.
Yeah.
And also like Dortmund still have an amazing team like Jadon Sancho, Marco Reus, but Haaland and Sancho, considering how young they are, they will do so much
Yeah.
better at another club. In my opinion. Like, I think both of these two come to Manchester clubs. I think one goes United, one goes City, which would be incredible. I want Haaland, but I want Haaland. And when you look at Dortmund, with Klopp, for example, he was under this thing of where his best players just kept on getting brought, or
Yeah.
Lewandowski obviously got brought, Goetze, and yeah, some of these guys did come back. Matt Hummels is another one. Of these guys do come back, but when you consistently get bought by your biggest enemy and your biggest rival, it's just not the same as what you would expect. And Dortmund now, there is so much more competition in that league of where you expect like similar to La Liga of how Real Madrid and Barcelona would run that entire league. You would expect Dortmund and Bayern to run that entire league, and you're just not seeing that. And I don't know why that is, considering they have such a great goal scorer.
Yeah. Like, you look at Bundesliga now, like there's like a good 5 teams maybe that are like contending now, because you have obviously Bayern and Dortmund. You now have Leipzig. You have who's Leverkusen, who are a decent side. You have Gladbach. I think Wolfsburg are like 3rd or something
I think
right now.
Wolfsburg are up there. Yeah, they're doing decent.
So like there's a lot more teams that are like competing, because before you literally had Bayern and Dortmund, and then maybe you had like a Gladbach lurking underneath it. But now there's actually a lot of competition. Obviously, Bayern is still going to walk away with it, like they always do. But it's just it just shows, man. It shows.
Yeah, it's like I think last year everyone was a bit annoyed how like there was no league realistically that was competitive, and obviously we're seeing much more of that this year. Like all leagues are realistically competitive. I don't know how well PSG are doing, but
I think they're like 2 points off top.
Apart from the Premier League. Yeah, apart from like the Premier League, there is no realistically and out. But and even still with the Premier League, like City aren't guaranteed to win it. Like the heavy favourites, and there's probably a 99% chance they will win it. But mathematically, they're not.
Yeah, but the thing is, the
When
Premier League, like,
season,
it wasn't like you couldn't really tell who was going to win it until like January, because it was still everyone in the top 6 could mathematically win it. It just so happened that Man City just got together and got on a winning streak. But
yeah, now it's out of like obviously City are heavy favourite spots. So United has still been that not race, like we're not in a title race. Like I don't want people going like, oh, you're just a like
mathematically, if someone else was to win it, Man United.
Mathematically, we are, yeah. Like you don't know, like City could bottle a couple of games.
It's not like they're light years ahead of you. I think they're like 9 points ahead. Now, at this moment, Jared actually had a quite sudden and very fatal power cut. So, yeah. So, like, this is the end of the podcast pretty much. So, I didn't really get to do an outro. So, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe for more. And then, yeah, goodbye.